Justin Hogg here from RightSource, another week leading into Christmas. This week, this video, I want to talk about why we have companies and this whole social purpose or corporate social responsibility that's talked about a lot and tends to get a bit more airplay now. Companies setting themselves up for a social purpose, or they have a fundamental, they want to do good and that's why they're here. And that we're changing how companies are because companies have always been evil. It's interesting when you look back on where the structure of a company came from. So it came back from early European times, sort of in England and Holland, where companies were first established in where they were exploring the colonies and getting value back to their nation. The word company comes from the word compagno, which means one who eats bread with you. So a company is a companion, it's a friend. It was set up to help improve the societies in which they operated. So I found that really interesting when I first realized that when companies were first created, their purpose was a social purpose. Now, the first question comes to mind, well, they obviously didn't have investors asking for their money back. Well, actually, yes, they did. The investors were there to help fund the operation that the company was doing, and they would get a return. But that wasn't the purpose for setting up the company. The purpose was for the benefit of the society and the nation in general. So companies, when they first were created, were for a social purpose. Now, as you then look at the history, around the 1970s, it came in a lot more strong that no, a company is there to deliver value for its shareholders, and that's the purpose of the company. And it sort of changed what a company was about. It became this real focus then about, and this is where, the digital age and information and people investing money wanted a return, and it became that very passionless thing about just profit. And that's when that changed. And I think what we're seeing now is something really quite cool, in that society generally is saying, well, no, it's not good enough for companies just to make a profit. They actually have to be responsible. Not only responsible, they actually have to create value for society. They can't be a mechanism to take from one area and give to another. A company should actually, yes, it should make a profit because that allows it to be sustainable. And the investors in that company are part of its stakeholders, but there are more that company would affect. And everyone in that ecosystem of that company should benefit from that company existing. So I think what we're actually seeing isn't something new in terms of the social purpose of an organization, but we're seeing us return to its original purpose and have a bit more meaning in what it is a company does. There is a little bit of a danger that happens in this as well, where companies see that there's a change happening and they want to make themselves appear more socially responsible. Now, a term for this is called greenwashing. This is where a company goes and says, hey, look, we're doing all this for the community and we're saving the trees and we're doing all this type of stuff, but they're really not. It's more publicity, and it's to make themselves appear environmentally responsible or socially responsible, and that's where that term greenwashing comes in. What you actually want to look for, and what I look for in an organization to understand whether it truly has a social purpose, is that whether what they're doing, is that being driven by the current CEO or the current leader of the organization, and is that organization currently profitable or in good times? Because if a company is having it easy in terms of their profit, and there's a CEO who understands that they want to move into appearing to be more socially responsible, then it's easy to look socially responsible at that point. When a company is in hard times, or when there's a bit of turnover in the executive, if that company is still able to be socially responsible, then it means it's more than just a flash in the pan. It means that social responsibility is actually more than likely embedded in the DNA of that organization. Now, this can be done through a couple of ways. There's an organization called B Corporation at the moment, which is a way to certify yourself to show that you're socially responsible, and that process actually potentially changes your constitution, changes your governance of your organization, so that it actually changes the way an organisation operates independently of who's in charge, so that no matter what that organisation is doing, their social purpose is core to it. So a great example of where you can see companies that are doing it tough still maintaining their social purpose is in the not-for-profit sector. So these are companies that operate not-for-profit. Just because you're a company doesn't mean that you're a profit-driven organisation. Not-for-profits do have company structures. Now, you can see in their constitution they have an objective to perform a social purpose. And because of this, that organisation, even if it's right on the edge and it might go out of business tomorrow, it is still doing its social purpose. And that is where the value of the company structure adds to society. So, do I think companies are evil? Not necessarily. Can they be evil? Yes. But we're all made up of light and dark, and it's what we do with it that makes us make a difference or be part of the problem. So that's my take on company structure. Thanks for tuning in. There's lots of other videos if you want to check them out, some more about accounting than this one and some less. Otherwise, feel free to subscribe, and if you've got any comments, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. But until next time, I'll catch you all later.